These plastic shelves are straight trash in a garage. If you step on them or load anything heavy, they're gonna bend and break. These are not going to break. And if your kids decide to try and climb up here because they want to have a bed and have a nap, well, they're not going to pull them over like those crappy plastic ones. It would cost me $200 in plastic shelves to line this wall versus this wooden structure that, granted, I'm not a great carpenter, cost me $180 to build in about 2 afternoons with 2 newborn twins, which eat up a lot of my time. I'll show you the problems with it once I'm done building it, but let's get to building. This wall's a mess, and it's been a mess for a long time. And I've never really just had time to deal with it, except now I kind of do. The razor, where we're figuring out ahead. The 6x6 is long done. So the logical thing to do is go look at lumber. Stash behind my cargo trailer. What have we got in here? It appears though I got an absolute shit ton of 2x6s. I guess I can rip them in half. Yep. Okay. This will work, I think. Time to move shit. Did I drive my truck 20 feet? Yes, I did. I'm lazy. It's a lot of trips, okay? So, more so, it just gives me a spot to store the wood, not on the ground, because I don't got a whole lot of room in here. I think we'll put the slats on there first. Go from there. I had marked a whole bunch out in here and then shut my door, quickly chopped them all on my classic Black & Decker chop saw. It's not fancy, but she gets the job done. I got most of the boards. I'll have to rip, I think, another board in half to get enough crossers, but this gives me lots of work. I'll probably run out of screws, and then I still got to go get plywood or OBS or whatever for the deck, so, you know, we're getting there. Well, she is the next day. And we did get a little bit done last night. We got the strapping up. You know, we're using the board that's on there. We got a couple end boards. We got a stack of boards cut. I do need to cut a few more. I did not cut enough. And then I just got back from the homeless death spot and picked up a couple sheets of OBS, which I'm glad to see that those are not $50 a sheet anymore. Those are $80, $90, $80 or so, and a couple boxes of screws, some OBS. So we'll get those sliced up, and we'll get this thing all put back together. We'll get some more fungus on the wall and get back to working on bikes here one day. Good thing I got a dually for all this plywood I was hauling. The plan is to rip these boards this way. So I get 1, 2, 3, and then that was the least amount. That's my math, and that was the least amount of sheets I could buy. Or this way I had to buy the most minimal sheets, unless I did my math wrong, which, well, we're about to find out. Got all the boards cut, I think, for now. And we're gonna slam her together and put all my junk back on it. It seems like a boring video, but I don't know. If you've watched this far, drop a comment of what I'm doing wrong. Let's get her all put together. Now that we have the shelves completed, I'm sure you've spotted the spots that I messed up. I'm not a great carpenter. If steel was cheap and I had more ventilation, I would have just welded up a set of shelves, but for a set of shelves, wood's really hard to beat. So what I forgot to account for was adding the width of this 2x4 in the middle, which made my shelves too long for my plywood to reach. So I put a couple little spacer boards in here, which worked out just fine. My original plan was to not cut the 4x8 sheets into 3 pieces, was to use a long piece, like use 1, 2, 3, 4, use 6 sheets of plywood, but I actually did it with 3. So at 32 inches wide, that's a great option to keeping the price down. I later decided to notch this up because this is going to become a little workstation. I can put my printers so I can ship products out of this little spot, because currently I'm using the corner of this bench and that is an absolute disaster over there. Super happy that the crane worked out, that I can just tie it over here, and then when I need it, I can just unclip it, or need something up there, I can just reach up there and get it. Overall, pretty happy. If these boards start to sag because I didn't put that many cross members in, like this one, no, it doesn't have any, but I figured the top, I'll probably put light stuff up here. Worst case, I'll just put crossers in later. The bottom ones, I put extra crossers in because I figured this will see heavier products like engines or whatnot. Let's really look at where I messed up the most. So first off, my plywood doesn't reach quite far enough everywhere, so I had to screw in like an extra board because it's too short. Look, I'm not great measuring things with a tape measure, and it shows. This board, you've seen, was already here, so I just added on to it to save buying a chunk of wood. And then on the bottom, you can see there's my grade stake overlap. So if this starts to sag, I'll just put an extra cross brace in it. Like, it's not really a big deal. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments. If you did like this video, please hit the subscribe and the like. Leave a comment telling me how bad of a carpenter I am, and we'll, if I get enough comments saying I suck at building shit out of wood, I'll build something else out of wood. I'm thinking my back corner here is going to need a similar system. Bike projects, YZ450, KTM 500 2-stroke, more shitty plastic shelves, and a desk. So I think I could build a desk with a shit ton of shelves for my camera stuff. So right now it's all kind of just piled. I got 2 little shelves here with camera gear, but I think I need a better system with chargers and everything wired in. I'm just running off a power bar in the back, and it's just not a nice system. I still got to run power over to my workstation over here, but I have a plug here, so one more power bar and you can get everything plugged in and chooching. But hey, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.